Hey guys, your girl Urban Chick One. Merry Christmas! So today is Christmas. I am sick, child. I have been sick since last Saturday. So that's a whole week. I have the Coca-Cola. I'll say the condola, the Coca-Cola. Girl, but I'm getting better. Last Saturday, I had fever, chills, body aches, headache, congestion, sore throat. I had the whole shebang. So the whole week I've been getting better and better, and I have no energy. I had to stay in bed literally all weekend. Last weekend, and then the video you see now, I actually taped it about 2 weeks ago, and then edited it, and I posted it last week. So thankfully I did it before I got sick, but I'm getting better. I'm just congested today. So I'm actually alone on Christmas, but I'm doing good. I'm actually in good spirits. I'm happy that I'm healthy and that I'm not in the hospital and that I'm getting better and better every day. So thankfully, I did get the what can I call it? I'm trying to think of a name. The Verizon. I did get the Verizon. I'm gonna call it the Verizon. So thankfully my symptoms were only flu-like and not like deadly. Because I do live in New York, so I know exactly how I got it. Because I went out 3 days before I started to show symptoms from at this small ass bar where there was no ventilation, child. But with all that being said, I was able to FaceTime my friend earlier today, and I think I'm gonna FaceTime my sister later tonight. So I am doing okay, and I'll be fine. But I really hope all you guys are having an amazing holiday today and spending time with friends and family. But if you are home alone like me, there are certain advice that I can give. And it's like, well, how are you home alone and you're in good spirits or you're happy? I think for me, I just started to put things into perspective. And especially because I got sick, that really put a lot of crap into perspective. Because I would say at least 3 weeks ago, I was extremely sad because of the fact I would say, oh, I'm lonely. I don't have a boyfriend. I don't have a boo. I'm alone. Da, 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 da. My headspace was in that, and it was making me very. And I was also PMSing. So on top of that, so I was depressed, girl. It was. I think I was almost bound to crying, but I put things in perspective. So I'm like, I'm just grateful that on this holiday, that I am healthy, and I'm here, and I'm breathing, and I'm thriving, and that I have the week off. So my office doesn't open back up until January 3rd, thank Lord. So just having this whole week off, just to reflect, just to focus on finishing this website for my hair business, I'm so grateful for that. And just to relax and be able to sleep in. So I'm so grateful for that. And then also, I think the problem is when it comes to being alone and single, the reason why we get so sad is because we only remember the good times. So I would say if you're home alone or just alone in general, not having a partner, um try to reflect as to why you are not with that person. Because sometimes we get so stuck into just thinking about the good times, we forget the bad times, or we forget why it did not work out in the first place. So for me, I was sad because I was like, God, I don't know, I was so attracted to this brother. He was just amazing. Like, great body. I was just like, God, I wish I could just look into his eyes. I wish I could just smell him. He always smelled good. I wish I could just like touch his hair or caress his skin or touch his hands. I wish he can like caress my skin. Okay. But then it's like, and he wasn't a bad person. Like, he wasn't a bad person, but it didn't work out. And I know the main reasons why it didn't work out. There were certain things that it was just bad communication, and this is just my situation that I'm sharing. So mainly there were times I've unblocked this person twice, okay, through on my phone through text. And for me personally, one thing when it comes to whoever I am getting to know or talking to or in a relationship with or just dating, I like to talk. I like to talk in person or on the phone in order to get to know each other. I don't like to do full blown paragraphs through text message. So we had different forms of communication, and there were times where I kind of just fell back and just like um accepted their form of communication. But the problem is you can't, these things are read differently through text. You can't hear the tone of the voice, you can't hear how they're saying it, so it might come off a certain way if the person wasn't meant for it to be that way. So for instance, I will say first time we blocked, because it was just, I don't like arguing through text, I don't like it. So the last time, I'll say this, last time I did see him in person, this is this is like over years, this is probably the last time I saw them. And it's just like I was like, okay, so I'm a very, I like to be a very direct person. Like you could be direct and still be respectful. And so I was like, hey, let's link up, let's, you know, have some drinks or whatever. Oh, just talk. We went up for like tacos or whatever. And so I asked them a specific question. They gave me a wishy-washy answer, and they didn't even look at me. They didn't look at me in my eyes when they said it. So I'm like, in my mind, and then I'm the type person, if I ask you something and you give me an answer, I like to take things in before I react, which is another reason why I like to talk in person, because I'll take it in and I'll really listen to the person. But if you text me something, I'ma react, okay? So I'ma react the second you text me. So but when you tell me in person, I'm the opposite. I like to listen and really take it in. Oh my god, my neighbors upstairs are so annoying. So so this is what happened. I asked them a specific question. They gave me a wishy-washy answer. 2 weeks go by, right? I asked them the same question, kind of roundabout way in text. They literally went off. They sent me like 10-line paragraph through text message. And I was like, why didn't you tell me this in person? Why didn't you explain how you felt in person? Why didn't you open up your mouth? Like, that's what I don't like. Um, I don't like the miscommunication. So, and then I'm like, if you're sending me 10, 20 paragraphs and it's all about how I'm this, I feel like it's a mental attack. Because if I'm reading this, I block you. So I blocked them. I kind of regret blocking them. I wish I could have actually talked to them about it, but I'm just like, this isn't gonna work. This is not gonna work. I do regret blocking them. So also another thing too, when it comes to situations, I learned from what I could have done wrong. Um, I was like, you know what? I should have just picked up the phone. I should have just called them, because if they felt this way and if they didn't have the courage to pick up the phone, I'm gonna just pick up the phone. I'm gonna just call them. I'm like gonna stop you mid text and just call you, because it's like you can't get through that through just texting. Um, but I say all that to say, when it comes to situations, think about why it didn't work out. Don't just think about all the good times. Think about what went wrong. And then it really puts a lot of things in perspective. Um, yeah, I shouldn't have blocked them, but honestly, it felt like felt like it was mental sabotage. I don't like fighting through text. I rather talk about it. And the great thing about him and me is that we both are kind of like laid back people, and we have respect for each other. So even if we talk to each other, we don't go out of line. Like we never curse each other out. We don't do that. You know, we will say certain things, but it's never like below the belt. It's never disrespectful. So that's why I'm like, we should have just talked about this. If you felt a certain type of way, I wish you would have just told me. So moving forward, I'm like, okay, at least I know what I want. Cause girl, I'm 35. I like to talk on the phone. I want to get to know a person. I don't want to just be texting all damn day. Okay, we can check in. We can do the good morning. We can do the hello king, hello queen, grand rising, good morning. You know, but when it comes to really getting to know someone, I want to talk in person or on the phone. We can talk, go on a date, do activities and talk, or on the phone. So with that being said, and then it's like, even at my age, there's time there in the getting to know stages. I am single. I try to get to know guys, and they blatantly, flat out was like, I don't like to talk on the phone. And I'm just like, well, how do you get to know someone if you don't like to talk on the phone? I'm like, are we going to go out on a date and talk? Because my thing is, unless we go out at least on a weekly basis, at least once a week, and talk in person, if we ain't doing that, how are we going to get to know each other? We have to talk on the phone. You could text but so much. So I've had dudes who said they don't want to talk on the phone. I literally had one guy say he doesn't like talking on the phone, but then turned around and was like, "Oh, he wants to dominate my body," and I'm like, "Ew, I don't know you like that, brother. You ain't touching nothing. You don't even want to talk to me, but you want to touch me? Ew, get out of it. Like, just go away. Ew." So like, these guys are a trip nowadays. So it's like, you really have to like take your time to get to know a person. I'm not the type that wants to just rush into a situation. A lot of people want to rush into situations. Um, like this, I'll say another situation. I was talking on the phone with a guy, and he was scrutinizing me and judging me because the amount of years I haven't been in a relationship. Don't get it twisted, honey. I have dated, like literally just went on dates with guys. But then when I go on dates, the first or second, and there's certain things are not adding up, then it just won't work out. So I'll go on another date with other guys. So when I say date, you could literally just date. Like, you could go out somewhere, and then I'm gonna take my butt in an Uber and go back home. So, and I like to talk and get to know a person. There was one, and this guy, he scrutinized me because I haven't been in a relationship for years, but and the same guy, he was talking about how he was with a girl for like 3 years, and then he found out she doesn't want to be called, she doesn't want to call someone a husband or a wife dynamic. She just wants to be called a partner. He was Nigerian, so he was very traditional when it comes to marriage. And because of that, he broke up with her, but they was still physical for his needs or her needs or whatever. But I'm like, that's something you find out in the first or second day, honey. Like, why are you just finding this out after 3 years of being with her? You didn't know that she wasn't into marriage? And I'm finding this out, and this is our like second phone conversation. We like, this is what I mean about talking. Like, people don't want to talk. They just want to go off of attraction and just start hanging out at each other places, cooking dinner, sleeping around, like sleeping together. And then before you know it, a year or two go by and they find out about this person, and they're like, whoa, nah, this ain't gonna work. And it's just like, and I'm like, look, I'd rather be single, get to know a person, and be single for a couple of years instead of be with someone who's not my person. Okay? But anyway, child, really, I say all that to say, if you're alone like me, just think about what you want in a person, and just know the next year you're gonna find your person because you know what you want and you know what you ain't gonna take, okay? And there's someone better out there for you, okay? So that's how I look at it. And also, you can learn from experience, and I've learned what I could do differently. That's like, even now moving forward, I'm making it clear, like, look, if you want to get to know me, then we have to learn to really talk to each other. We have to talk on the phone, or we have to go on a date and actually talk to each other. That's why I don't like movie dates, because you can't talk to the person. You're in the dark watching a movie. I don't like two physically active dates for first or second dates, because you can't talk to the person. Bowling might work if you eat afterwards or during, or but it's still, and it doesn't have to be an expensive restaurant. You could go to like a museum and like talk to each other while you look at paintings or art galleries. It's cold, yeah, and it's cold, so you can do that inside. It could be like a cafe or diner. It doesn't have to always be an expensive restaurant. That's why I don't know why people are so hooked up on like uh you know, you don't have to spend so much money. Like, you can go to like a diner or a cafe, like I just stated. I'm trying to think what else would be a good date. Those are the only ones I can think of so far. But just an activity where you guys can literally talk, or even if you guys like, I don't know, go hiking or somewhere or something, because it's warmer on the East Coast. It's warmer on the West Coast. So if you like go hiking and then afterwards you have to replenish yourself, like maybe get a snack or something to eat and go to the park and you can talk. Like, I'm so big on that. Or do a FaceTime. You can do a FaceTime and talk. That's how I feel. So at this point, I'm cool with being single because so far, I'd rather be single than have someone in my corner that's not my person. Like, that's not the person who's meant for me. Like, I don't want someone touching me and you ain't my person. I'm like, like, ew, like, ugh. But anyway, I really hope everyone who is single and alone on this holiday really think about that and really just see like bigger and better things are to come in the new year. Okay, so just enjoy the day and eat something scrumptious, watch a really good movie or binge watch. So I might watch Witcher on Netflix. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, this is your girl Urban Chick 1, and I hope all you guys have a great and amazing holiday. Okay? Bye.